Okay, I'm finally here, but alone. What if I turn the lights on? It's too... Okay, fuck lady 69. Hello. Jet, you're here. Try the request. Yeah, I see the request, I guess. Yes. Now you should be here. Hi, Zink here. Glad to see you, Ron. Sniss is here. Hi, guys. Yes,
Hey,
Jet
Ray.
is here. Hi, Jet.
Made it. How you
Glad
doing,
to
man?
see you, man.
Yeah, you too.
I'm good, thanks.
Good.
I've been, yeah. When I say something, I cannot hear you, so we should say one by another.
Yeah, definitely. What
Nice.
I want to start with?
Me?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Do you want to start?
I'd
Do you
like.
want to get into global food crisis or tackle that first, or do you want to
Yeah.
do a
Hey,
bit of an
Spam.
introduction for everybody?
Well, yes. Introduction will be fine. We're gathered here today to, uh, I don't know. I know to discuss what happens right now. I wanted to talk to you guys like live, because I've recorded a video, and video is not the same thing that talking like person to person. So I'd like to talk to Code. He's been Jet. Sorry, your name is Code, not Jet in here, so I'm a bit confused.
Yeah, Jet.
But
Jet's the
yes.
original name, so we can go with that.
Yeah, so you're Jet,
Yeah,
and you guys probably know Jet too. So I'd like to talk to him about Ukraine and situation in here, and to tell you what is going on. And yes, Jed's been here since the very beginning, supporting me. Thank you so much for this, man.
absolutely.
You're been a really steady shoulder to lean on in these times. I'm really grateful to you. I've been
Absolutely.
driving today. I've been driving around this region. There's a few castles in here. I visited one of them with my wife, and as we started to just see in the castle from inside, the air defense alarm started yelling, and we all needed to go to the basement. It's a castle's basement, a huge one. It's like not not like a basement, but let me
Like a bunker,
remember what?
like a bunker.
Yeah, it's kind of bunker, but it's the one that they hold bottles of wine in them. How do you call them?
Cellar.
Stellar. Yes, definitely. So it is. It was super cold. My wife stayed there because she's usually scared of these alarms, and yeah, I'm not that scared, so I stayed on the ladder, just looking at the news, what's happening, and rockets were flying from one region to another. We have a big country, so we have like 10 to 20 minutes when the rocket is flying across all the country and reaches our region. So we're heard. I saw the news about some of rockets falling in Mykolaiv region. It's close to the east, and then in Khmelnytsky, it's pretty close to us, by the way. So we've been waiting for rockets to fall somewhere close. Wine cellars, thank you, Harmless. Glad to see you, by the way. Yes, and they then it the storm happened. We've seen the black clouds coming from the closest village, and a huge explosion, but it was just a lightning, but it came pretty close to us. So it was a huge explosion. We really scared of that. But can you imagine the coincidence?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, this was crazy. And yeah, some children that were there, having a, who visited castle, they started crying because definitely some of them just, yeah, just been, they heard some explosions in their life already. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of children in here, children like that, who experienced a lot in their early age. Yeah, so that's kind of reality that we live in every day. We have these air defense alarms each day, sometimes multiple times a day. They last from 10 minutes to 2 hours. One time, me and my wife were in the nearest city, and it was a mall. We were in a mall. The alarm started yelling, and we've been instructed to go to um, a bunker beneath the mall, and it was an old Soviet radiation bunker. Can you imagine? There were. It was yeah. So we went there, and we spent more than 2 hours. It was super cold. We got ill after that, and I spent a week with cough and sneezing. So yeah, that also affects our health.
Yeah. Yeah. No doubt. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. That's so that's been day to day life for you lately. Um, it's
Yeah.
been. Do you want to take some questions I've gathered from people around here that I've talked to right now, or do you want to go through the other topics first and come around to
Uh,
questions at the end of the stream?
I'd like to maybe go through your questions and questions you've gathered, um, because I think may if they will cross with my topics that I wanted to talk
Yeah.
about, that we'll see, and then we just can switch to those.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll
let's.
get started. I mean, you were already covering one of the main questions that I've been getting from everyone here is that they've just been asking how has day-to-day life been, and how much have you had to relocate and move around from your home to other places, and how has the day-to-day life been of the people you know there, right? Like, so you've been covering that, but is there anything else you want to go into detail about of your experience so far since this all started?
Well, yeah, I can talk about my life pretty much, but yeah, I've heard a lot of stories. We have
Hmm.
official news here, and most of them covering some crazy stuff and um, some very hard stories. Um, and today, by the way, today in the castle, while we were hiding near the bunker,
Mm.
we met a woman. She was in, like, not very old, but a woman, not young already, maybe around her 60, who was relocated from Irpin. It's near Bucha, the famous Bucha, with all those war crimes committed,
Mm.
and it was the same. It was the same in Irpin. So she was sitting in the basement for more than a week.
My God.
Uh, yeah, she was under rockets. She showed us her home. It was burned down to the ground. The rocket came right into her home, and she have nowhere to come back anymore. Our government actually already launched a program to help those people. Uh, they will be having their homes rebuilt, but it will take time.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of homes to rebuild. It's been around 100, no, sorry, around 300,000 homes registered through this program already. So Yeah, it's a huge stuff for. Yeah, Charlie, it's really sad. So it's a huge work to do. We already have support from European Union. They're launching a lot of donation programs for rebuilding, and I think there's going to be a lot of frozen money, Russian money. You know those billions. It's around
Yeah.
300 billion. I hope that our country, along with European Union, they'll find a way to take those money and give it to rebuild our country, so they won't be frozen for long, or even been gonna be given back to them Russians back. I hope not. What do you think will happen on May 9th? Oh, I don't think that that's something different from today. They're going to send multiple rockets, dozens of them on May 9th. But I think, yeah, also our daily lives are, um, every day we're asking ourselves a question and each other a question. Will Russia launch nuclear weapon on Ukraine? So we're also living in a fear of nuclear war in here. And I don't think really, I watch a lot of videos, those analysis and stuff from experts, and I think this is not going to happen. America really showed Russia that they will respond. They will respond really heavily, and that bully Putin, I think he's gonna be just. He's already scared of that shit, so he won't
Yeah.
do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, about relocation, you asked me. We had to relocate from Kiev, but we're exactly in a week, next Saturday. Me and my wife, we plan to go back to Kiev. So yeah, we're gonna get back to our home. Our friends already been there, and it's it's pretty much coming back to life. But we cannot say this about eastern cities of our
Yeah.
country, cities, villages, towns. They're still in a heavy war zone, and yeah, Kiev may be like one of the safest places right now. But yeah, so we met a woman here who lost her home, and she said that she's going back pretty soon. She have some relatives near Irpin, and she's gonna live there and wait for her house to be rebuilt. But yeah, it's thousands of broken lives and thousands of lives lost already. So she's one of the lucky people
Yeah.
who yeah, managed to stay alive. Well, yeah, I think I've maybe been answering for too long, but
Okay. Yeah, another question that I got was people generally wanted to know like why, like essentially why you didn't flee the country, right? Like why you stayed. I would imagine this is a part of, it's your home and you don't want to leave it, right? But I would just like to get your perspective on that, and I'm sure other people would too.
well, first thing is let's say it's been two periods. First period, I wanted to fled the country if I could,
Hmm.
because it was really uncertain in the first 1 or 2 weeks. We didn't
Yeah.
know what will happen. Kiev could really fall. Our capital could fall. Our country could have been dragged into a long and uh, much more worse nightmare. We could have been. The war could go much more bad for us. But uh, as long as our soldiers were fighting and fighting really hard and back, we started to see that. it's not lost, and we can really our country can really win them, and they're really weak. Their army is just acting stupid. So we had more and more hope, and we had more and more. We were more and more sure that everything's going to be all right, and um, we actually now, before the war, me and my wife, we wanted to live somewhere else. Let's say Greece or Turkey, maybe just relocate, because there's actually easier to rent home there, and yeah, it's more cheap.
Yeah.
And now we don't want to leave Ukraine. Now we want to stay here and live here, and because we want to support our homeland, we want to support our people, we want to participate in rebuilding, in growing our economy. So really, now we're really becoming, not we, I am becoming like a natural patriot. I've been, I've been passive and ignorant sometimes to the
Yeah.
problems of my country. I wasn't following the politics, yes, and I wasn't really serious about not about anything, about all this social stuff. I was thinking only about my life, about my personal growing, about my career and stuff. But now, after all of this, I really am changing the the view of this life, my views,
Yeah.
and I really don't want to go anywhere. I want to stay here. I want to be with my country. And if, let's say, with some miracle for Russia, they will escalate the situation for us to lose, and if they will be coming back to Kiev, I think at some point I'm even ready to take weapons, even if I don't know how to use them. I'm ready to take weapons and die for my country eventually, if it needs to be done. If all hope will be lost and our army will fall and people will be need to become partisans, I guess I do that. So yeah, that's what most of us Ukrainians are thinking right now. We're just don't want to leave our country. We really love it, and we're love it even more than any time before. So
Yeah. 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 No
so
doubt.
this
That's the
this
thing
is
is
it.
that I imagine with the adverse situation you're all in, it's the the value of community and togetherness is probably a lot stronger than it used to be, right?
Yeah, yeah, we're united as we've never been. Our country is famous by its, conflicts, political conflicts inside the country. Our
Hmm.
politics always choking each other, and you know, I think politics in every country do that, but we didn't have that unity that we have now.
Hmm.
But we have it now, and it's one of the biggest achievements of this war. Putin wanted to divide us. Instead, he united us as never before.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah. And then one more question that I've gathered from around here is people seem to be curious about like because obviously like being in North America we didn't hear about it until it had started, like we weren't aware of Russia maybe like gathering troops near your borders and stuff like that just because it wasn't really part of our news cycle over here at all. So like how much warning did you guys have, like were you aware that this was going to happen before it escalated?
Um, you know, there were some. Mm, Окей. I'll stay. Я залишусь тут. Все нормально, нормально. Залишся. So, нормально, нормально. Yeah, I was saying, sorry for that.
No
I was
worries.
saying that Can you remind me the question was?
Yeah, just how much warning did you guys kind of have? Like, did you know that this was going to escalate into what it has become before it started,
Yes,
or was it kind of
exactly.
a surprise? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hi, Auras, by the way. We've actually got some warnings before. Not official information, just some, some rumors.
Yeah.
There were even some, let's say, one of my coworkers from the previous work, he was saying that his father has a friend who is military, and they really started gathering some documents and stuff to relocate them. And it was really warning. He said we gotta be prepared. But actually, his family, even his family, he was from Bucha too, by the way. His family didn't prepare somehow. They just relocated when it started, and they had to flee too. So we didn't believe. None of us really believed that this can happen. We can. It's just unimaginable, It's 2022, and we cannot imagine a full-scale invasion in 2022. It actually feels like World War II in here. It's not World War yet, but um, the just it feels from the I forgot the word. Sorry, the size of
Yeah.
destruction. Yeah, size of destruction is huge, and if we're talking about Mariupol, for example, it's the most damaged city in Ukraine right now. It's a city that's been destroyed already. So yeah, it feels like World War II, but before that, we didn't even believed that this can happen. So yeah, we didn't believe. This is why we had it in our media that Russia is gathering forces around our country, but they've been doing some of this before. So we okay. Let's say most of us didn't want to believe that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah,
we
exactly.
just
That's just
didn't
it.
want
I mean,
to.
nobody can really like. That's the thing is, destruction of this magnitude isn't something we deal with any of us, right? So, regardless, I feel like it's going to come as a surprise, right? Like with any warning, because you just don't expect a full scale war to be in your cities and homes, right? Like,
Yeah,
yeah, one
definitely.
week to the next, it's quite the difference. Did you want to? That's pretty much all I had. Most of the questions I got were similar enough to those three that I kind of narrowed them down into those three topics. But yeah, did you want to get into your topics?
Definitely. I've already started to talk about Mariupol.
Yes.
I guess I need to begin with it. Well, to continue with it.
Yeah.
Begin from my topics. I mean,
Yeah.
uh, so yeah, you've heard it. You personally, Jed, heard it from my messages, from my posts that I've been sending to you, and you've seen. What can you say about um, the awareness of this problem, let's say exactly Mariupol problem, there in Canada? How famous is it?
I think it's pretty well known because it's been fairly publicized here. Um, and like, regardless of the specifics of locations, it seems like people are pretty aware, in my experience, like the people around me, the people I work with, my friends and stuff, of the sheer destruction and violence that's going on there. Like people seem to be pretty aware of it. Like I see, Ukrainian flag bumper stickers on cars all over the place, and I just see a lot of support for Ukraine here. Um, which obviously, like, it's not like we have a strong Ukrainian population here. Yes, we do have Ukrainians here, but not enough that, yeah, I would be seeing Ukrainian flag bumper stickers all the time right before this started. So there
Yeah,
is a
yeah,
lot of support, at least locally where I'm from in BC, like on the west coast of Canada. Like I see a lot of support for you guys here. And like we've had multiple protests in our own city, or rallies, I guess, not necessarily protests, but like awareness rallies, essentially, right? To like, you know, if people aren't aware or aren't paying attention, you know, they might be now. And our news media is covering it, right? Like it's not like it's being ignored by our news cycle in any way, right? So that's the thing too, is, you know, I think a fair bit of information likely gets lost between, you know, your country and then our news media here and our journalists here that aren't on the ground there and maybe don't have the best contacts available or whatever, right? Like I don't know the logistics of how the information gets across, right? Um but it's definitely, from my perspective, I feel like people are pretty aware of what's going on, you know.
Good, good.
Yeah.
Good. I'd like to know something about how people are aware in US, for example, but I guess you cannot know about that, right?
Well, I have, yeah, you know, I have US friends. If he's still in the chat here, Jim had joined. He's a friend of mine from the East Coast of the United States. Um, he's been aware of what's going on. I know that for sure. I play Apex with him all the time. That's how I know him, right? So, um, but it seems like most of my American friends that I talk to regularly or actually know are also aware, right? So I can't speak for, I don't know, like that's the thing too, is I know American journalism is especially weird compared to Canadian. It's very like partisan, like very like left wing versus right wing. They have their own stations, and I'm sure if you're watching one side of the news coverage of it, you're probably getting different information than you are of the other side down there. But that's to say, I mean, I don't watch it myself, right? And most of my
Yeah.
information that I've been getting about the conflict has been through, you know, journalism that you've been sending me, or like the Kyiv Independent and stuff like that, right? So, which,
Yeah.
you know, that's the stuff I share with the people I know that are curious about the situation, right? Just because I feel like it's obviously a lot more credible coming from there, not here, right?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And okay, so I just wanted to know how people aware of that, but I wanted to maybe repeat how bad situation is there for those who maybe don't know. So yeah, Mariupol is eastern city on yeah, it's the eastern border of our country. It's really close to Russia, so it was really easily um, circled in the
Yeah.
very first days. Yeah, it was cut off from all Ukrainian supplies, and our it's a big city. It's a 500,000 city. By the way, do you have some
Yeah.
comparisons?
Yeah, I do actually. So, for our American friends, that would be about the size of Kansas City or Long Beach, which is one people would probably know, or like Staten Island, right? Sacramento,
Oh
Fresno,
shit, I've heard
California.
those names.
Yeah, exactly. Those are all cities of about 500,000 in the United States. And then ones that people would know in Canada would be like Vancouver, not counting the greater Vancouver area because there's a bunch of cities around it, right? But like just the city of Vancouver is about 600,000 people. The city of Hamilton, Ontario is about 500,000 people. And then there's, you know, like a city like Victoria that people would probably know pretty well, is that's only 300,000 people, right? So these are like, you know, these are cities of quite magnitude, or quite the magnitude for people to compare it to, that they would recognize. Quebec City is 500,000 people, you know. Um,
Yeah, I've heard all the names, but I didn't imagine. I thought they are bigger. You know, just I didn't check any information about them, but
yeah.
in my mind they were bigger, like million people or something. But yeah, the Mariupol is that big.
Hmm.
And yes, it's been blocked for more than 2 months already. So it's been we have a battalion there. It's actually, I don't remember. So it's around 1,000 people, the 1,000 warriors there.
Hmm.
They called Azov. It's from the name of Azov Sea. So Mariupol is located on the coast of Azov Sea,
Mhm.
and the battalion called Azov. It's around 1,000 defenders there. They've been holding this city alone against. Can you imagine? Against 10,000, sometimes 15,000 Russians. So it's X10
Yeah.
more Russian forces than defenders. And they are still alive, not all of them. There's around 600 wounded people, wounded warriors, wounded soldiers there.
Yeah.
And by the way, they're not alone. It's not only Azov there. They're the major force, but there's also Marines, Ukrainian Marines there. I think it's one division or something. It's not many of them. I don't know about the word division. Maybe it's not right. It's around, let's say, around 100 of them helping. It's also the border servicemen. I don't remember how the term.
Yeah.
The soldiers who serve on borders of the country.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
They're
Border guards, border police. Yeah.
border guards, yeah, border
Yeah.
police, and also it's a national guard with them, and it's also a police, regular city police.
Yeah.
They joined them. They're all defending the city. So it's been a really hard battles around the city. Russians actually been bombing city with all they have, with all aviation. Okay, Oris, bye. Hey, Pat. Sorry that I interrupted myself. Героям слава. Слава Україні. Сказав Орес. Yeah, by the way, did you know, I'll make a little remark here. Jed, did you know that answering to Slava Ukraini, you must answer Героям слава.
Heroyam Slava?
Did you know that?
No, I did not know
Героям слава.
that. Heroyam Slava.
It translates like glory to heroes.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, it's glory to Ukraine, and you must answer glory to heroes.
Okay.
Героям слава.
How do I
So,
can you pronounce it one more time for me, just so I know?
Героям слава.
Heroyam Slava?
Yes, heroyam. Hero, heroi.
Right.
It's similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty similar to hero.
Cool.
So, hey, Black Dahlia, hi. By the way, I'm glad to see some people stepping by. It's really, really cool to see everyone here. But continue to tell you about Mariupol. I'm sitting in the car, by the way. I need to open the window a bit more because it's getting hot in here. Yes. So, yes. I was talking about people, I was talking about Russian army, and actually they bombed everything. They bombed Mariupol with everything they had for these 2 months. All buildings are destroyed. Some of them partially, some completely, but not a single building of this 500,000 people city is wholesome.
Yeah.
They're all destroyed partially or fully. It's hard to imagine. We've seen such a pictures only during World War II. There were some crazy, like Stalingrad,
Yeah.
they've been wiped out from the face of the earth. Or I bet there were some cities in Europe too, like maybe France were really hardly bombed.
Yeah.
London been bombed for years. So yeah, we've seen something like that there. Only then. But
Yeah.
so yeah, they been fighting on the streets, and our soldiers were holding block by block, and they were destroying a lot of Russians, but they been forced to fall back step by step. because there were 10 times more Russians, so they've been forced to fall back. But now they are holding a very big plant. It's a metal plant. It's near the sea, so it's the most southern part of the city. It's a huge plant.
Mm.
I don't know. It's maybe the size of Manhattan. I'm not sure, but it's pretty close to that size. Can you imagine the
Yeah.
plant this big? Yeah. So they are holding this plant, but Russians been bombing this plant with 3-ton bombs, heavy bombs. They're let's say to compare, the regular bomb is from 200 um 200 not tons, kilograms, to 500 kilograms, and this one is 3,000 kilograms, so it's 6 times more heavy than most of regular bombs. So they've been trying to destroy that plant. Yeah, another important part is that plant has underground, huge underground floors.
Yeah.
They're made of concrete, so it's actually a perfect bunker. But Russians have weapons even against those concrete walls and ceilings, and they've been really destroying those bunkers. So a couple of days ago, no, maybe even 5 days ago already, they've started to dig really deep. So most of the people who were there hiding there were 1,000 civilians there, around 1,000 civilians. They were protected by Azov and other soldiers. So they've been. It's the last stronghold actually of this city, and they were already. I forgot the word, but they were. Okay, those walls and those concrete ceilings, they fall on their heads, so they've been buried under
Okay.
that. Not all of them, but a lot of civilians been dead already, or just blocked by the ruins.
Yeah.
Only 4 days ago, our government, along with UN, finally made some. They finally organized an evacuation, and they evacuated 156 civilians, including women, children. It's not including. It's only women, children, and old people.
Okay.
So they finally evacuated 156. I saw the news today that they evacuated 50 more, but Russia doesn't want to evacuate our wounded soldiers. It's around 600 wounded soldiers there who's dying just from sepsis, from I don't know if there's such an English word, but gangrena, gangrena, maybe. Gangrene, yeah, maybe.
Gangrene, yeah.
So they're dying just because they don't have any antibiotics there.
Yeah,
so
they need proper medical care, and it's not available. And likely, there's no
it's not
available humanitarian lines to get it to them, and you can't get them out to treat them either.
Yeah, Russians were blocking any humanitarian lines. They were shooting all the buses, blowing them up. They weren't okay. They're just terrorizing Gangrene. Yeah, thank you, Dahlia. And yeah, they were just, they are losing all their reputation as a civil country with Mariupol mostly, but they have done more crimes in other regions, but Mariupol is the festering wound, the biggest one.
Yeah.
And they are determined to destroy all those soldiers. They don't. I'm sure 100% that they won't do anything else but destroying them completely. They really, it's one of their biggest goals, because all other goals been failed. They failed to capture Kiev,
Yeah.
Chernihiv, Sumy. They fall back. They wanted to surround our forces on east. They failed with that too. They wanted to capture Mykolaiv, its eastern city near Kherson. They failed on that too. The only thing they can do is finally fully destroy Mariupol and the last stronghold. But today, I think today I haven't heard anything from Azov yet. Not me personally, but in messages, in news. But yesterday, they've been actually reporting about Russians blowing up the truck who
Oh, okay.
was who was driving to evacuate the people, and
Yeah.
they just shot from a rocket launcher and killed 3 soldiers who were driving the truck to help. They actually have that regime. Regime is not maybe the word, the mode, when soldiers are negotiating and they're saying this is going to be a silent hours, no bullets shot from any sides, because we need to evacuate humanitarian through humanitarian corridors. We need to evacuate civilians. But Russia is always always words, sorry.
Yeah. Breaking the agreement, right?
They're always breaking the agreement, and they're
Yeah.
always shooting when they're saying they're not gonna shoot. So these bastards are always lying. They're always saying ceasefire. Thank you, Charlie. It's really the word.
Yeah.
Ceasefire. And yes, so they're always lying. They're always doing these provocation? No, maybe
Yeah.
not the word. Yeah.
Well,
What's
yeah, it
the
could be
word?
provocation. I mean, like, yeah, that or like, well, it's an attack, right? But yeah, they're attacking outside of agreements, right? Because like from what I understand, this is common in all war, right? Like there will be ceasefire agreements and during peace talks and stuff like that, right? But from what I understand, they make these agreements and then they just work outside of them and still attack during
Yeah,
ceasefires, etc. Right?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Every agreement with Russia is yeah going to fail,
yeah,
because this terrorist of a country is only lying, only deceiving. They are super cynical,
yeah.
and yeah, they just don't play fair. An update. My wife is sending an update. She's saying all women, children, and elderly people in a chat. You can actually see that elderly people evacuated, but our fighters still trapped. Yeah. So they won't let them out. They don't have medical supplies. They don't have enough food. They don't have enough water. It's the matter of days when they start to die from dehydration. It's really a hard situation. All citizens of our country are in pain. Our souls are in pain for those soldiers, for those warriors. They're really more than just soldiers. Uh, you know, uh, I have a comparison for them. They're like those 300 Spartans
Yes.
from 300. So
Yes.
yeah, they're really the heroes of our time, and I really hope that they won't be those heroes who will be just dead and remembered as dead heroes. I really hope and wish for them to get out of there alive and to celebrate victory with us. They really deserve that. They deserve more than that.
Yes.
Really all praying for them. Even atheists were praying for them. Some of
Yeah.
us. Black Dahlia, Rick, I have to start driving, but please tell me that uh, uh, where you and your family are safe. We're safe, Dahlia. It's okay. Me and my family are safe. All of us. My grandma is on occupied territory. She's in Donetsk. She's not really safe, but for now she's alive and healthy. And yeah, so we're safe. Thank you for being here, Dahlia. Drive safe and come to other streams that we're gonna have in future. We're not. We're still here. We're still here for about 10 minutes. Not saying goodbye to everyone else. So I was saying about them getting back alive, but yeah, really, the situation is really tough and hard, and well, the probability of them getting out there alive is really small, and just the problem is that I don't know the word on English. The backside of the war zone. How it called in English?
Um. So like not on the front lines, but like further back into your guys's
Yeah,
side of the war. I actually
we
don't
have
know. I'm not a huge
we
war
have
guy,
the
so
we have the word for that here. It's called till. But I don't know how it's in English. I'm gonna prepare for the next time.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'll have to brush up on my military terminology. I think
yeah,
I think well, I'm seeing back line, which would make sense, not the front line.
yeah. Backline.
Yeah, yeah. So that's what I'm seeing on Reddit here at the moment. I'm kind of researching on the fly.
Yeah,
For
they're
example, slider shots. Backline. Yeah. Okay. So what I'm seeing here is backline is like the people who are bringing weapons, supporting the front line, right, and kind of doing like the
yes,
logistics, right? Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
So, thank you so much, man, for that
Oh, no worries.
word.
Yeah.
I actually knew that, but forgot that it's the same that till.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So the problem is that Mariupol is located in the very back line of the war zone. Um, our soldiers, our forces on the front line are located around 200 kilometers from Mariupol. So
Hmm.
can you imagine? And it's actually fields. There's almost no trees there. So
Yeah.
it's a field area, and they need to march through that 200 kilometers area to Mariupol, and Russian aviation is almost fully controlling that side because it's
Okay.
their zone, it's territory they occupy. They can easily bomb our forces who's going to march to Mariupol.
Yeah.
Yes, so this is why our forces cannot deoccupy Mariupol, and it's a huge problem. Our people don't. A lot of people don't understand that, and well, now they all understand that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really hard situation, and we just need time, but time to deoccupy them because America's sending more weapons, more heavy weapons. Finally,
Yeah,
maybe
finally.
Lend Lease maybe will be signed by Biden on May 9th, but I'm not
Yeah.
sure. No one's sure yet, but I guess he will sign it on 9th or maybe just a bit later. It's going to be
Yeah.
signed anyway. But um, but
Yeah, and that's another
uh,
that's
the
another thing that a lot of us probably don't think about over here is like because we see the news stories of our government sending whatever to help, right? Whether it's weapons or humanitarian aid or whatever. But one thing that isn't considered for a lot of us is the time it takes for stuff to get there and then properly be distributed to the people that need it, right? Because once it takes time to get to your country, and then it takes a lot of time, from what I understand, to move it around the country just because of what's going on with the humanitarian corridors being attacked and all that, right? So it's not
yeah.
exactly smooth sailing. It's like, yes, we agree to send you some stuff, right? But how long does it take before the people that actually need it get their hands on it, right? Often weeks.
Yeah, yeah. So that's the main problem. Our country is pretty big on territory, so we actually spent around a week or something to relocate weapons from our western border, where it comes from Poland. The help from U.S. comes from Poland. Those planes are landing in Poland.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's transported from western border to eastern border, and sometimes it takes several days, even 2 weeks. And the transportation from US to Poland sped up really like huge time
Yeah,
lately.
that's good.
It's been much worse before, but now it's so much better. But it still takes time. So yeah, I hope our Spartans will hold for that operation of the blockade, and at least some of them will come out of there alive. They're really uh, heroes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Uh, the last couple of decades, word hero was kind of mm, how you know what I mean.
Yeah,
I cannot find words, but
misappropriated. I mean, like our heroes maybe they weren't actually heroes, and now we're finding ones that are. Is that what you mean?
yeah, because finding a real hero,
Well,
well,
there's a difference between somebody you look up to being a hero and somebody performing heroic actions, because those are the
yeah,
true heroes, right?
yeah, and only such huge tragedies um, can only in such huge tragedies true heroes can be born, and not only true heroes can be here with us in just a civil life.
Yeah,
They're there and they are really helping. I really believe in that, and I know
yeah,
such people. But those heroes who is like epic heroes,
yeah,
let's call them epic heroes.
yeah. They're
Yeah,
selfless, right?
they're only born and discovered in these hard times.
Yeah,
Is these wars? It's actually a lot happening here, and I didn't cover even half of
yeah,
uh, of topics that I wanted to
yeah.
discuss today.
Yeah, well, we're gonna definitely
uh,
have more streams, so we can, hopefully we can, make you know, do another one. Hope I don't know what time is going to be good for you, but we can discuss that off stream. This time works for me if we want to do it again, follow like a week out, right? Make a schedule
yeah,
and all that, but um, yeah. Yeah, because there's definitely more topics, and that's the thing is the more we talk, I'm thinking of more topics that we could go over too, right? But that's the thing
Yeah.
is, you know,
You
we
know,
have more. Go ahead.
ideally, I'd like to make them every day. These streams, it will be perfect, and it actually can help us, cover a lot.
Yeah,
But first, yeah, the schedules is just super hard
yeah,
when
it's
you
tough.
work on week.
Yeah, that's the thing is like, because what
When
time is it there
you,
for you right now? It's like 10 p.m.
yeah, it's exactly 10 p.m. right
Yeah,
now.
exactly. It's noon for me. So if it was a weekday, I would be at work right now, right? So that's the tough
Yeah.
part. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's the tough part. But I think I might be willing to wake up really early
yeah,
when it's your evening, and we'll do some streams
yeah,
on your evening. It's I think it's the best time, right?
yeah,
It's better than noon.
yeah, for
Um,
sure. Yeah, yeah. That's the thing is like times like this worked good on a weekend, but definitely for weekdays, evening would be better just because people are more likely to tune in if they're not busy, right? So
yeah. Okay. Let's see. Maybe I'll. I'm just, the person who's waking up pretty late usually,
yeah,
and cannot make myself wake up early. But for this cause, for this right cause,
yeah,
I can work on my schedule and
yeah,
on
exactly.
myself.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Uh, thank you, Jed.
Thank you.
It's been a great pleasure to have this conversation with you. The stream, it's only the first stream. I hope it's gonna be a tradition, and we're gonna
Absolutely.
be making more of them.
Yep.
Uh, because what's happening right now, it's very important, and actually, it's history. It's a huge change
Yeah.
all over the world right now. Even if some parts of the world don't understand that it's happening with them too, it's happening.
Yeah.
It's actually an an historical war. Yeah, it's taken a lot of lives, but we're fighting for our freedom. We're
Hmm.
fighting for our land, and we're fighting against tyranny, against this fucking regime, against Putin, who is, we'll talk about this bastard later.
Yeah. Fucking monster.
uh, fucking monster. Okay. Well, Jed, I actually am really glad. Also, am glad to meet you in like person.
Yeah.
You're.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. We haven't ever been on a video call before, so it's really cool.
Yeah, we haven't been, and you're amazing, man. Thank
You
you
too, man.
for all the support
Oh,
you're
of
giving
course.
me.
Of course, bro. Of
It's
course, man.
really,
You're an
it's really
inspiration
cool.
for me anyway, and the more people that see you and hear your story are going to be inspired too, man. Like your courage during this is something I look up to. Like in my eyes you're a hero, right? So, of
Thank you, man. Thank you.
course.
It's really important to hear these words,
Yeah. No, for
and
sure, man.
really helping.
Yeah.
And I also want to thank everyone who came today, who's been chatting. And I actually missed a last message from Dahlia. She was saying, "I hope to hop in soon, Rick. I'm happy to do that maybe." Patience, brother. Slava Ukraini. Yeah. So I say Slava Ukraini. You say
I need the pronunciation again.
Heroyam Slava.
Heroyam. Okay. Heroyam Slava? Yeah?
Slava. Tak.
Okay. Heroyam Slava. Okay, let's try again though. You do it.
Slava Ukraini.
Heroya Slava. Yeah?
Heroyam Slava.
Heroyam Slava. Okay.
Yes.
Got it.
We'll train in the next one.
Exactly. Yeah, we'll need some practice. Yeah.
Okay, Jed.
Okay, man. Well, it's
Okay,
been
Jed.
awesome. It's been awesome to see you, man. Thank you for doing this, and you're an inspiration, brother.
Thanks, man. Thank you, brother. I see you soon. and see
Absolutely.
everyone soon. Well, have a good day then.
You too, bro. You have a good night.
Thank you, man. Thank you. See you
Awesome.
soon.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.